on silent or mute. We'll let these guys get settled up here. As a reminder, we'll take an opening statement from Coach once introductions are done, and then we will take questions. Pleased to introduce Clemson head coach Monty Lee, as well as Chris Williams and Jake Higginbotham. Coach, when you're ready.
We'll give Florida State a lot of credit. They played a heck of a ball game tonight. I thought Cole Sands, we knew coming into the game that Cole Sands, has great stuff and can really pitch. Had 3 pitches going tonight, and I thought he did an outstanding job. And then they turned it over to Van Eyck. Van Eyck's one of the most talented arms in our league. That's a tough mix. That's a tough mix for an offense, Sands and Van Eyck. But, our guys threw the ball very, very well, too. Jake Higginbotham gave us a great start. Thought he threw very, very well, and our bullpen was fine. Riley did a heck of a job in the situation he was in with the bases loaded to get out of that situation the way he did, to make the pitches he made. And Chris Williams had a big night for us, with the big inning there. I hit the 3-run homer in the 4th. But the bottom line, I think the biggest difference was we had some opportunities to score some runs, and we just didn't do it. We just didn't come up with the sac fly or a base hit with runners on base in a couple different situations, and that was really the difference in the ball game. There was a couple little things that we needed to do a better job of, but for the most part, our pitching staff, I felt like, did a great job. We played a good game defensively. But the bottom line is we got to do a better job with runners on base, and struck out entirely too much. But, again, you're facing a guy like Sands. Sands is probably going to be, taken in the first 2 rounds of the draft, and Van Eyck's going to be special. So I think that it was great for our guys and for our team to play in this type of game, in this type of atmosphere going into next week, and to be put in those pressure situations that they were put in tonight. I don't know if anything could prepare our guys for next weekend more than tonight's game. But Florida State, give them credit. They were a little bit better than us tonight. They got a great club, but we got a great club too, and we'll get better from this. Proud of the way that our guys fought, but Florida State was a little bit better.
Questions? Start right down here in front.
Monty, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't think I've ever seen you that maybe fired up, maybe just the second ejection of your career. Just what was going through your mind there? Were you trying to fire the team up, or was it just frustration kind of boiling over? Well,
obviously I can't comment on the situation, but at that point I was pretty fired up. That's about all I can say.
Go back here.
Chris, I know this loss stings a lot, but you're bound for the all-tournament team, swinging the bat as high as you've been all season. And after the way last season ended with the injury and missing the tournament last year, how special has this been for you?
This tournament's been a lot of fun for everyone here at this team, on this team. Before, even today, we were all loose, having fun, and being able to be a part of it. And when I say that, I mean being on the field and just being with my brothers. It's been absolutely amazing to be able to experience this one more year and coming back and doing that. So it's been very special to me, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm taking it every day, being grateful every day.
Next question back here.
For Monty, as far as sending Jake out for the 7th, were you just trying to squeeze another inning out of him, or were you always going to go to Spires at some point in the 7th?
Yeah, we felt like once we got down to the right-handed hitter with Flowers, that was the spot to bring in Spires at that point. Just with with Mendoza and with Wells, Mendoza, and Albert, we felt like it was a good matchup for Jake. He had been executing pitches, and Mendoza's a really good hitter. He put one good swing on him early, but besides that, I felt like Higgy had done a nice job with him, and we felt like it was the right matchup at that point to send him back out there.
David?
Monty, the next step for you guys is to watch the selection show Sunday. Pretty sure you're going to host at least a regional, but in your mind, still worthy of hosting a super regional or being a national seed with the 45 wins?
Well, I believe so. We led all Power 5 conferences or programs, I should say, in Division I baseball in wins. So, 22-8 in the ACC. We've got 45 wins. I don't know if there's anything from a resume standpoint that would say otherwise. So I think our resume stacks up with anybody's in the country. ACC is one of the best conferences in the country, and we've had a great year up to this point, and I do believe that we deserve a national seed.
Next question.
The losing has not necessarily happened often over the last 22. You've only lost 3 of the last 22. What does this do for your ball club as a motivational tactic? Maybe, bring out some of the intensity in that, as far as, you'd been having fun this week, but what does that do for your ball club to motivate you coming in next week and the rest of the tournament?
Well, we embrace the competition in the heat of the moments. I mean, again, we've done that time and time again. Just look at our record in one-run games and how many one-run games we played, how many tight games we played, and we've turned out on the better end of those games. It didn't happen tonight, and again, Florida State deserves the credit. It's not going to happen every night, but again, I think the big thing for me of what I take away from it is we just played arguably one of the 10 best teams in the country. In a great environment for the opportunity to play for the ACC championship. We came up a run short, and I think that the learning, all the different situations that our guys can learn from tonight is going to only make us better going into the postseason, because we know we're going to face high-quality opponents in an NCAA regional. So it's only going to make us better. Failure is something that you learn and grow from, and our guys will tell you we embrace it. I mean, we embrace failing. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. And sometimes when you're winning day in and day out, it's tough. My messages to the team are pretty simple when you win 19 out of 21. I mean, just think about that run. I think that's right. I don't keep up with it, but, I mean, we won 19 out of our last 21 games. I mean, it's hard to send a lot of messages. Just keep doing what you're doing. So, we'll learn from this, and we'll be better from it. But, again, I don't know if we could compete any harder. We didn't execute, as good as we would have liked to in some critical situations. And in the postseasons, when you're facing high-quality arms and opponents, when you get those opportunities, you got to capitalize. And that's the big thing that we can take from tonight. We didn't do a good enough job there.
Another question, David?
This would be for both Chris and Jake. When you see your coach get fired up and take up for you, does it make you respect him even a little bit more, to see that he's willing to kind of put it on the line for you guys?
Jake, let's start with you.
I thanked him after the game for going to battle for us. Everyone in the dugout's competing. Everyone on the field's competing. Sometimes emotions runs high. It means a lot that he's going to go to battle for us, and that he's got our backs and he's out there competing just as hard as we are. We compete on every pitch. That's one of the staples of our program. So to see our head coach do it, I think it gave us a little energy jolt and it helped Riley get out of that inning. So it was a big deal for our dugout at the time.
I agree. Yep.
Any last questions?
Just for Jake, talk about battling through out there tonight. Maybe early on, not your best stuff, or trying to find the strike zone a little bit, but battling through and pitching your team into the 7th inning.
Yeah, you're not always going to have your best stuff, and it's very rare that you do. Everything's clicking. So, like I said earlier, it's just we preach compete every pitch, and I'm out there fighting for my teammates, fighting for my coaches, fighting for the name on the front of my jersey. So, every single pitch is the biggest pitch of the game. So that's kind of the way I look at it. And if you can approach every single pitch that way, it's the most important pitch, then you're going to have success more oftentimes than not. So.
Thanks, and best of luck next weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, when you're ready, let's have an opening statement, and then we'll take some questions.
There've been a lot of ball games in a short career that I've had, but I can tell you one thing, that was one for the ages. It was a well-played game on both sides. It wasn't one that one club handed to another. The club that won certainly had to earn everything that they got, and the team that lost did everything they could to prevent it. It was just one of those games that you pay to watch.
Questions? Start back here.
Cole, talk about your performance. Obviously, you had a big night. You were able to find the strike zone pretty successfully.
Yeah, it was a team effort, but thought thought process was just attack the guys, you know, no free passes because I know they can leave the yard in a second, and, you know, it's kind of what happened. So just attack guys and, you know, try and limit the walks and just go right at them.
Another one?
Obviously, 2 of your 3 games here have come down to the wire. Talk about kind of your clutch coming down the end of the game to be able to find a way to win. Obviously against Clemson and then earlier in the week, game 2 against Virginia.
Rhett, go ahead. Let's start with you.
Re-say it.
I talk about just the clutch hitting it. You guys had clutch performance. You get by Virginia for your first game, and obviously against Clemson here to win it.
You know, you can't really teach clutch hitting, but you know, we stay within ourselves and we preach that a lot. And I think, you know, we've done that. We've battled hard every single game. It hasn't been easy, but we do what we do, and you see it comes out, and you know, we get some clutch hits, and we win ball games, and we stay right on track.
Before I let you go, Coach, I do want to have you address playing in the championship tomorrow and the opponent that you'll face here in Durham for all the marbles.
Well, we played Louisville earlier in the year, and they did not have their full ball club. They're big time different than when we played them. Well, they're playing extremely well right now. It's one of those matchups that you feel is going to be a heck of a ball game. Obviously, baseball is a game that can produce just about anything, but we're just hoping that we can go out there and play like we did the last couple of games that we played here, and we just hope that we can do the little things. We did that tonight, and let's see what happens.
Coach, talk about playing in an environment like this. Obviously, this was huge. There are a ton of fans here. It's a big-time game against Clemson. How this could help you in the NCAA going forward?
The league provides you every opportunity for a game like this. We have played in a number of venues such as this, maybe not quite the noise, but if you've ever been to Tallahassee, I will show you let you hear some noise, because our fans provide that opportunity for us to play in an environment like this. It's still, and it's a great question that you ask, because it's a whole lot different when you're playing on the road than it is when you're home. And that's what impressed me so much about our ball club, was the way that we kept our poise and so-called got it done, because that was a good club. Clemson is a heck of a ball club, and they'll be a top 8 seed, and they deserve to be a top 8 seed.
Coach, talk about the run that you've had, obviously, coming to the championship game, because you've been here several times consecutively. To the championship game.
You know, I guess I look at it this way. It's just, we're just going to play hard. I don't know. Did we win last year?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We did win last year. I ain't telling false stuff. You could use 2 initials, but there's ladies in here, and I won't. But if you'd want to, we just play. It's exciting. We're competing. And if we won last year, which we did, okay, we're going to come back the first game next year, and we're going to compete. And then we're going to get somewhere, we're going to compete. It's the players that make this so exciting, the way they enjoy. They enjoyed that tonight. There was no fear. And, yeah, you might say we were outnumbered fan-wise, but can't say enough about the noise that our fans made. I know I had a lot of family here, being from this great state. There was a lot of my folks up there yelling. You can hear my wife just about anywhere over all those Clemson people with her woo-hoos.
Can you talk about the decision to bring CJ in after starting him Tuesday and then sticking with him in the 9th inning there?
I just felt good about the young man. I felt like that he has been in this arena before. He was not intimidated. He relieved a guy that literally kept us in the ball game through determination and the love of competition. What also really stuck with me, and this is something you folks should use. When I went out there, it wasn't one of those, like, what the heck are you doing here? Go on back over there. Cole looked me dead in the eye. He was over 100. We know that next weekend is extremely important. He knows he's going to get the ball. I know he's going to get the ball. And yet he looked at me like, got you, Leb, I understand. He wasn't happy, but he was displaying great teamwork. I didn't want to go get him, but it was time. And I don't know if I've ever gotten a guy when the count was 2-2. To tell you the truth, I just went and got him. And Cole showed great support, and it's stuff like that that makes our team what it is.
Couple quick notes. FSU has won 15 of their last 16 games. This tomorrow will be their 4th straight ACC title game appearance. And as we've already discussed, they are the reigning ACC champions. Coach, guys, we'll see you tomorrow in the championship. Thanks.
Thank you, Amy.